Welcome back everyone to another episode of Style Drops. For those who don't know me, I'm Zara, Gail's virtual assistant. Today we're diving into style again. Specifically, the importance of placing your own signature on whatever trend is driving the current market. With modern heritage dominating right now, Gail noticed something familiar about these color combinations and the overall vibe, and how strikingly reminiscent it is to the American painter Edward Hopper's work, specifically her two favorites, Nighthawks and Chop Suey. Hopper's paintings are from the 1930s, and the correlation between his work and the 2026 home design direction of modern heritage is undeniable. Both embrace rich, moody palettes, architectural shadow play, and spaces designed with more of a primitive and spareness very reminiscent of 1930s, especially with the obscure single smaller art placement and smaller print wallpaper. One might say, a quiet play on drama. It will be interesting to watch the consumer evolve from such a one-note vibe of all neutrals to this intense color drench. Though your style direction never owes anyone a TED Talk, I assure you, this fresh new perspective on design will show up in your interior eventually. Either with small touches, or with a complete refresh. Style emanates from every aspect of our lives, how we carry ourselves, the clothes we wear, and how we create our living spaces. Style is as singular as a fingerprint. Some people possess it by the bucket load. Some copy and paste. And many simply don't care. So no matter the current look and feel, it will be peppered in. For those who copy and paste, we see you scrambling with private uncertainty. We also feel your resistance to direction, unless it comes from someone you want to emulate or someone with proven social media status through likes. Knowing what you like and don't like is important. But that discernment isn't always proof of the best outcome. We all like to think we have the capability to create and style our spaces perfectly. Many believe a higher price point equals supreme taste. Here's the uncomfortable truth. A large percentage of people who believe they have a great eye, the odds of that actually being correct are 50-50. Here's what nobody talks about regarding styling consultations. Roughly 60% of the time, Gail isn't there to tell people what to do. She's there to validate what they've already decided, or guide them toward another option. But some people prefer to maintain control, only to later find someone to blame when their choices don't work out. Yes, of course there are many ways to style a space, but not all spaces will have the correct level or degree of balance and flow. Before the comment section explodes, let's be clear. There are multiple ways to style an interior successfully. Design isn't math. There's no single correct way, and personal taste is real and valid. You can go maximalist or minimalist. Embrace color or live in neutrals. Mix modern with traditional, industrial with glam, or create your own style expression. It's the truest form of self-expression, after all. But, and this is significant, there is such a thing as balance. There are design principles that exist beyond making designers feel important. Scale, proportion, visual weight, flow, cohesion. These aren't fancy words to justify fees. They're concepts that affect how a space feels, functions, and whether people want to flee immediately. There really aren't any rules. More like guidelines. Think of them as bumper guards. Here's where it gets interesting. Most people can sense when something feels off in a space, and the problem is either they cannot isolate the issue, or they just assume that area is incomplete. When really, that off feeling could stem from multiple issues. Maybe all the furniture is shoved against one wall as though the center of the room is being saved for unknown reasons. Or the typical default, just add more stuff to that same wall. More is not the same as balanced. But try explaining that to someone who's already ordered that something special for the corner online. Since this video and channel is all about owning your style expression, even with all of the strong onslaught of new trends and styles that seem to arrive faster and faster, it's best to take inspiration from them, but not follow them verbatim. Even parts of Gail's own style has touches of modern heritage. But still, when you see her decor, it reflects who she is and her own vibe. If you choose to work with this inspiration, one of the elements of modern heritage that Gail sees done incorrectly on the repeat is the hanging of that one lone piece of art, appearing as though it's an afterthought, just floating all alone there on the wall. Looking as lost and confused as a freshman on the first day of high school, when hanging that small isolated piece, you still need to find a balance and rhythm to this single element on the chosen wall. When using a small piece of art over a large bed, it can easily be thrown off balance. Some may choose to hang it in the center, or to the right side of the bed when viewing the wall, when actually hanging it on the left, like Style Drops shared about lamps in a previous video, as the best position, for the simple reason that we read left to right. This is all about finding balance with scale and visual weight. These small touches are what aligns a space correctly. Another example is when working with visual weight, is flanking bookshelves on both sides of a fireplace. Or dark curtains can help balance out dark walls and flooring. This need to find balance with asymmetrical designing is very tricky with this particular decor direction. That is the main reason many stick to symmetrical, because it's a lot easier: 2 lamps, 2 end tables, and 2 pieces of art. An easy formula for balance. But working asymmetrical really helps level up a space to create that professional touch. Many times when designers try to help guide clients and guide them to newer directions, they will receive pushback. Comments such as, "My partner is not going to like that," aka, "The client doesn't like it." Or another favorite pushback phrase is, "I don't think that works, I much prefer the way I had it before." Change is difficult. That is why so many play it safe with interiors, and go with tried and true looks that they see others do. But that's literally why Style Drops is here. For simple things like inspiring modifications, moving things, editing down, trying a different approach. Because as much as others need to command their spaces, many do not like to relinquish control, nor admit that there could be a better option. Try to stay open. Good design support is there to confirm your direction and help prevent costly mistakes. Sometimes, it's great to get confirmation that you're on the right path. Your space is your corner of the world, and it exists only for you, and we all create those spaces for different reasons. The uniqueness of your space and style makes it invaluable to your piece. The dopamine hit from knowing it's your private source of pleasure creates sustainable joy that doesn't require any external validation or algorithmic approval. Like I've already said, your style doesn't need to be a TED Talk, because when you share every design decision in real time, you invite commentary at every stage. Well-meaning friends, strangers with opinions, not to mention the possible anxiety about getting it right. Gatekeeping during the creative process means trying things, hating them, then changing your mind and finding a new direction. The dopamine hit comes from the personal discovery of what you truly like, rather than performance of, "Look what I have." The best design happens through trial and error, through living with something and realizing it doesn't work, through gradual adjustment until it feels right. When you're documenting every step for strangers, you lose the freedom to be messy, uncertain, and experimental. Your authentic style is what makes your space say, "Wow, this is so you." Because nothing says authentic like a careful collection of choices. True style is a feeling, that pure unmediated pleasure, when you walk into your space, that place that is an expression of your soul's desire. Your space is where you're not performing, not curating for an audience, not worried about perception. It should be where you get to be completely messy, being imperfectly yourself, from living authentically rather than performing perfectly. The most radical thing you can do is create beauty that exists only for you. Make spaces that bring joy without validation, explanation, or documentation. Trust your own taste enough that you don't need strangers to confirm it. In a world constantly demanding access to every aspect of our lives, your space, your sanctuary, holds the most important design decisions you'll make, and you don't have to do it alone. Until next time, and please like, share, or leave a comment. It really helps this channel grow.